Okay. Hey everyone, Brian France here, Mortgage Broker Marketing. With you today with a special webinar, how to maximize your lead flow with Google Ads. So just to make sure everyone can hear me, and drop a 1 in the chat. See a number of you on here, and let me know you can hear me and see my screen. That'll be great. And we're gonna get no interaction today with all you people on here. Come on, give me a 1 in the chat. Am I in the right chat? Last time I was in the wrong chat. So, but all right. So today, if we look at the digital dominance method here that we've created, right? PPC, this is what we're going to be focusing on. Google Ads, how to maximize your lead flow with Google Ads today. And if you can just turn off your cell phones, Facebook, really focus on this for the next 45 minutes, maybe an hour. What I'm going to be sharing with you today is not based on something I read. It's based on real world examples, and I'll be showing you some of those. So it'll be impactful. So what we're going to cover today is why PPC is the key to unlimited scalability in terms of lead flow for your mortgage company. Show you some live examples of some campaigns generating a 5 to 15 times ROI. How to set up and structure your pay-per-click marketing, and driving the cost per lead down and the ROI up. And the KPIs, right? The performance indicators, the key performance indicators, and the tracking and landing pages and the campaign structure. We'll go through all that. So stay to the end. I got a checklist and a graphic of that digital dominance method. And then who am I and why you should listen to me? So I've been working with mortgage brokers since 2013, and wrote the book, author of the book, Internet Marketing for Mortgage Companies. If you don't have a copy, please let us know in the chat. We'll get you, we'll mail one out to you. And I think the most important thing, right? We do this is what we do every day. We're working with mortgage companies. We have dozens of clients out there, coast to coast. This is what our team's been doing exclusively, working with mortgage companies since the start of 2017 until today. So going on 5 years, exclusively with mortgage. So I'd like to start off with the question, should PPC even be a part of your overall marketing strategy? Let me just pull up the Q&A just in case someone did drop a question in there. So I have that over here. And all right, so should PPC be a part of your overall strategy? Now I navigated away here. There we go. And yes, right. If you look at all the different areas that you can market your business, right? Your website, SEO, pay-per-click ads. If you're thinking of how to get more people coming to you from the internet, right? Retargeting. There's online directories, right? Referrals. And how, where does PPC fit in here, right? This is an aspect, right? You can set up we could set up a campaign right here today, start getting traffic right now. Like there's no waiting, right? You don't have to do this big build up with SEO or anything, but it could also spend a lot of money really quickly. Unless you like flushing money down the toilet, you definitely want to pay attention how to structure these so you're not wasting a lot of money. And so why, right? Why should PPC be part of your strategy, right? So you can start showing up quickly, right? Like I said, we could set up a campaign right now, start getting traffic. You show up as often as possible where your customers are looking, right? People, they're going to Google, they have intent, they have a need, right? They're asking Google a question. There's a need there, right? Unlike Facebook, something like there's no intent. So you can show up where your customers are looking, right? And you can show up for non-geo modified, right? You can show like SEO, you're limited to the city that you're in. So you can show up the whole state you're licensed in, right? In particular markets. And certainly, like, I just want to show up in this county. And you can scale, right? You can also pause, right? That's another great thing. It's like, hey, I want to pause. I'm going on vacation for a week. Can we pause this week? Not a problem. And then you can increase spend, right? I got a couple new loan officers. I need to get some need to get some leads in the door for them. And why most campaigns fail? So they fail to understand the auction process of Google Ads, right? The complexity of the mortgage industry and the Google Ads auction process, right? There's an auction for each keyword that you're not going to be the only one that is wanting to show up for that particular keyword or that phrase or a variation of that, right? So there's an auction process, right? And then there's a lot of things to consider there. So they set up one ad group, right? There's another reason why these things fail. They set up one ad group and send all the, for all the different loan programs, right? It's like, I want to show up for FHA loan, or I want to show up for first-time home buyers. I want to show up for jumbo loan, and I want to show up for investment property. Well, if you're sending all that if you're putting all that in one ad group, that's going to be really tough to have some consistency in what people are typing in, what they're seeing in the ad, and then the landing page, right? What landing page are they going to go to? So that's a big problem. They don't use specific text ads and landing pages for the different ad groups and the keywords. So you definitely want what people type in. Your ad needs to talk about what they're typing in, right? A specific text ad for the jumbo loan, right? And then we're going to take them to a specific landing page about the jumbo loan. And there's no strong call to action on these landing pages, right? A lot of times I see a lot, see a lot of ads going to home pages, right? That's not a best practice. And so you definitely want the different, an ad group. So you have a campaign. Inside those campaigns, you'll have ad groups. You can set up multiple ad groups, and you want a specific ad group for each one of your loan options that you want, right? VA, jumbo, first-time buyers, and then specific text ads with that and specific landing pages for that. And so pause there, see if there's anyone with any questions. What did you learn? What did you notice? And take it away from there. And give me a 1 in the chat if you have ran Google Ads in the past and how that worked for you. All right, give me a 1 if you've ran Google Ads in the past. And then so we'll go through a couple case studies here. So I have a few different examples here. This one was 289 clicks, 51 conversions. This one 577 clicks, 24 conversions, right? The spend 2.3, 127 clicks, 12 conversions. So we'll break this down, right? So if we look at that first one, and this was last month, right? Month of August, I got 51 conversions, right? Either a phone call or a lead form was submitted. Conversion rate, is our conversion rate from your lead coming in the door and you close 30% of them, right? So a conversion rate of 30% of those leads that came in, these are very specific, right? We are getting people that are typing in a very specific phrase, right? Something with high intent, right? And then we're taking them to a landing page. Now they've called, right? They have a need, right? If you convert 30% of them at 51 leads times 30%, that's 15 loans closed, right? So 15 loans are projected to close from that. If average commission is $3,000, that's 50. Looks like I messed that up. So 51 loans times 3,000, right, would bring in $45,000. And then So the projected ROI on that, right? 45 grand divided by 2,800 spend, right, is 16 times, right? So 16x, right? If you give me $1 and I give you 16 in return, how much dollars are you going to give me to do that, right? Here's another example here. You can see number of leads, 24, right? 30% conversion rate, 7 loans closed, average ticket, 3 grand. That's 7 times 3 grand, 21 grand, right? So that's a 9 times return on investment. Another client here, and this is the month of August. So 12 leads, conversion rate 30%. That's 3 loans closed, 3 grand. 3 times 3 grand, right? 9 grand. 9x, right? They spend $1,000. So, and then one last one here, 31 leads, 30%, 9 loans closed, right? That's 27,000 projected, 13x, right? 13 times ROI, right? Out of the 1,900 they spent, right? And let's see here. So, anyone have any of those questions? Let me know. So we're going to talk about how to set up and structure your pay-per-click campaign, really for the driving at a minimum cost and a maximum ROI, right? Minimum cost per lead. So you have to track conversions. You have to have call tracking and tracking of the lead forms, right? The leads that come in that don't call, that fill out a form, you have to have tracking on that, right? Yeah, and that has to report back to Google. Your campaign must be broken into smaller ad groups, right? And they have to have in those ad groups text ads that match what someone's going to type in, right? So you're going to have an ad group, say jumbo. The text ad is going to talk about jumbo loans, right? Get a jumbo loan rate quote right here, blah, blah, blah. We do this. And you're going to take them to a landing page that's all about jumbo. And make sure you have a strong understanding of the different keyword, the different match types of keywords. And you definitely want to pay attention to the negative keywords. And so we're going to dig into that. You need to write compelling text ads that resonate with what the customer typed in, right? So if they're typing in, FHA loan, and you're talking about, you're not talking about the FHA loan, it's not going to connect with them, right? But you also want to mention like what's going to separate you from your competition, right? Something that stands out, right? And ad extensions. You definitely want to use all these tools that Google gives you in there. One of them is these ad extensions like site links and call out extensions, a call extension, a location extension. All these different extensions make your ad much larger, right? It makes it pop a little bit more. So definitely want to leverage those ad extensions. And you have to have the visitors land on a solid, well thought out landing page that is designed to capture a lead, right? It's designed to convert, drive a phone call, or fill out a form. And you want to split test, tweak, and fine tune. You don't want to just leave something out there for months and months and months and hope it works. Test things, right? Ad copy. You test the different colors on the landing page, or where the phone number is, or where the calls to action are. But the first thing, it is a must. Don't even think about spending another dollar until you have tracking put in place, right? You have to know what you're getting from the spend, right? If you don't know, you have to have a goal, right? And so, and that's why a lot of pay-per-click companies or pay-per-click campaigns fail, right? There's a different number swap with the call tracking that can determine whether it comes from a pay-per-click ad or an organic ad, right? So if you're using the same number swapping for organic and pay-per-click, right, that's gonna produce some problems, right? You're not going to be able to tell, like, okay, what keywords are bringing in the phone calls? What keywords are bringing in these leads? And then the web form tracking, right? You put a snippet on your website, and then on the thank you page, there's a little conversion snippet that goes there that will report back to Google once that's hit. And yes, and then you can track like what ad groups are bringing in the most conversions. And so I would keep if you're looking at the KPIs, what to pay attention to are a few things, right? The total spend, right? How much did I spend this month? What the cost per click, right? And then the average cost per lead, right? Calls and web forms, right? We want that under $100, and you want to track your ROI. So you have to be able to track like where people are in the pipeline. Like, do we have any in process? Do we have applications? Have any of these closed? And so it's best to have a dashboard, right, that you can drill into. Like, okay, here's my pay-per-click KPIs. It makes it very easy to see, right? And so the next thing here, so conversion tracking is a must, right? Now, how to structure your pay-per-click campaign. You have to have your campaign broken out with a number of different ad groups. And so these ad groups are going to be very specific, right? Jumbo loan, FHA loan, first-time home buyers, cash out refinance, right? Self-employed. And even your brand, right? You definitely want to bid on your brand as well. And so the keywords, and does anyone have any questions there about what I mean by ad groups? So if we pull up a campaign real quick, you can see in this, we have a few campaigns going on for him. But if I look at this campaign, inside this campaign, we have a few different ad groups, right? So that's what I mean there. And then inside these ad groups are specific text ads for and then each one of these ad groups goes to a specific landing page. And just checking the chat here, just making sure there's no questions. Sometimes I have these things pulled up wrong, but so you definitely want a specific ad group for each option, right? We don't go after a lot of general stuff, and this is why, right? If back here, the keywords, right? So in your ad groups, you have specific keywords, right? So say we're talking about the jumbo ad group. In that jumbo ad group, we have specific keywords, and there's different ways. There's different match types for these keywords, right? So you got broad match, modified broad, phrase match, and exact. And in a broad match keyword, right? Someone searching for home loans, it could bring up a lot of different stuff, right? Personal loans may show up. You may show up for payday loans. Like it's unlimited. You definitely don't want to be targeting broad match keywords. Modified broad would be if you put a plus before each one of those words. Now you can show up if someone types a whole phrase that mentions broker, mentions mortgage, in the same thing, right? It doesn't have to be mortgage broker. They could say, they could type in something that says broker and mortgage in that phrase. Or, if you had all of these, right? San Diego mortgage brokers, right? If they typed in San Diego mortgage brokers looking for a job or something like that, or looking for a career, or, you could show an ad for that, right? So this isn't going to be the best either. Phrase match, you can get much more closer to what you want to show up for, right? And this is where we do, right? We use phrase and exact. And right, mortgage broker near me, mortgage broker in San Diego, right? That phrase needs to be typed in, right? Now, if someone typed in mortgage broker in San Diego that is hiring, right? That's not an ad we want to show up for. So how would we stop that is looking at negative keywords, right? So, but if you did this keyword and didn't pay attention to the negative keywords, you could show up for a lot of things you don't want to show up for. And that phrase has to be exactly typed in for your ad to show. But negative keywords are huge, right? We have a ton more negative keywords than actual keywords that we're targeting. And this is how you really target your campaigns. Your negative keywords, right? Keep your ad from showing when certain words are typed in, right? And there's other mortgage companies that are near you. You don't want to show an ad like when someone's searching. A lot of people have mortgage in their company name or home loan in their company name, right? We don't want to show an ad for that particular company. But some other ones are jobs, careers, car, auto loan, things like that, association, banks, Chase. There's a ton of negative keywords, thousands that you should be looking at and paying attention to. And you need to write a compelling text ad, right? A compelling text ad that will resonate with the searcher, right? And it needs to match what they typed in, right? It needs to match, and you want to entice them to click on your ad, right? So a lot of times less is more, right? The more you talk, or the more might turn people off. So tell them exactly what you want them to do, right? Make sure it's very clear, right? That make sure that, and also that you have to reference what they typed in. So if they typed in jumbo loan, you definitely want to mention jumbo loan. If they typed in jumbo mortgages, you want the text ad to talk about jumbo mortgages or investment property loans, right? If they're typing in investment property loan. And then one decision, right? Tell them to call or fill out a form, right? Tell them exactly what you want them to do. Too many calls to action are gonna distract them, right? And so this is what I'm talking about in the text ad, right? When you see an ad, right? This is the text ad. And then there's extensions, right? So the ad extensions, these are tools that you have in each one of your ad groups, right? And you can do them at a campaign level, ad group level, and we like to put a lot of like call out extensions, like what separates you, right? Hey, we're local to you. We have a list of them, but definitely things those are make the ad much more bigger, right? Stand up, or stand out more. If you just did the text ad, just did the headline and the text ad, right? The ad extension gives another line, right? It makes the ad appear much larger. And these are tools that Google gives you. You definitely want to take advantage of them in there. You can see the site link extensions, right? If someone's typing in like about refinancing, right? Give them the opportunity to send them right to a funnel, send them right to a calculator, something like that. The location extension, right? So you can actually have your actual location in there. It'll show the address, and the call extension will have your phone there. And so these are all different extensions that you want to look at and set up. And then you have to take people to a well thought out landing page, right? And so I took a screenshot of a couple of these, and what I'll do is pull them up, see if I remember the URL. So there we go. So, looks like, now I'm going smaller. There we go. I think we're good. So a well thought out landing page, right? And so we have not much that someone else can do on here, but either fill out a form or call. I have a nice big phone number there. That's always going to be there. some reviews to build some trust. But we want people to either fill out our funnel. We call these funnels, right? These are designed to capture lead. They're lead capture tools. Or I got to move my my video here, or a phone call, right? And that's really it. So if you're sending to the homepage, right, there's going to be the different links up here. It might be too distracting, right? And it's not going to be as specific, right? Someone just typed in, you know, a home loan for a self-employed, right? Some sort of variation of our keyword that got them to this landing page is going to match what they were typing in. And so we're going to have a much better chance of converting that lead. And so how to accelerate your lead flow here to summarize, right? Conversion tracking, it's a must. The smaller ad groups, right? You have to break out your campaign into very specific ad groups, right? Like jumbo, first time buyer, VA loan, right? These are going to be specific, right? With keywords that are very specific for that ad group. Text ads, ad extensions that are all matching what people are typing in. And you have to really understand, like, make sure you have a strong understanding of the different match types for those keywords. So from broad match to modified broad to phrase and exact, you have to have a really good understanding about those and which ones to target. And you need to have some copywriting skills, right? Some compelling text ad. Less is more. You know, what's different about you, you know, compared to your competition. Leverage those ad extensions, and you have to have a landing page, a well thought out, a well-designed landing page that is optimized to convert the lead. So pause there, see if there's any takeaways, and you know, what did you learn? What are you going to put into action? Yeah, I see a number of you. I see Mark, Jason, John, Charles. What's going on? I see if we maybe next time we'll get some interaction out of you. But I see a number of you on here. I scrolled down to there's looks like 12 on. So again, this is that the breakdown of the leads and questions I would ask my PPC provider, right? How much, this is an important question here that you want to have a clear understanding of. Like, how much of your budget is going to your Google Ads spend compared to management fees, right? If you're working with a company that is collecting your ad spend for you and then paying Google themselves, you might be running into a problem there, right? What our clients pay Google goes directly to Google. We don't collect their ad fee, right? So it's very clear. This is what you spent in Google Ads, right? Their credit card is attached to it. We have what's known as a manager account where we manage a bunch of different accounts and we set up billing for our clients like that, right? We don't bill our clients for the ad spend. So it's very clear, right? I know there's a lot of companies out there that will collect it. It's like, okay, hey, yeah, we're going to spend $5,000 or, you know, pay us $5,000 and we'll run your Google ads. Well, how much of that is going to the Google ad? Who knows? And ask them what type of tracking, like how are you going to track the phone calls? How are you going to track the lead forms? If you don't have the conversion tracking that pulls into ads, you're going to be at a major disadvantage, right? You're not going to be able to tell Google like what's your average cost per acquisition is, and it could be really high, right? And you don't even know. You definitely want to know this, right? It's something, and then once you know this, then you can work to drive that cost down, right? You can, and then like how are you going to tell like if a call came from a pay-per-click ad or an organic search, right? Like how are you going to tell if they typed in or if they clicked on an ad compared to an organic call? And how are the KPIs tracked, right? Is another question. And are you going to get a dashboard, like some sort of reporting dashboard? And then the key metric there, right, is average cost per lead generated, right? Pay attention to that. Like how much you benchmark, you want to be at 100 or less, right? And ask them if they'll be setting up a specific landing page for each one of your ad groups. And, or like, are they just going to be sending the traffic to the homepage, right? If you're driving traffic to landing pages, what are the plans to continue to optimize that, right? If you can improve your conversion rate on your landing page, right, from 10% to 20%, you just cut your lead costs in half, right? Say you got 10 clicks, right, at $10, right? That's $100, right? Now, if you got that, a conversion rate of 10, that's one lead. Now, and that would be what, $100 a lead. If you got 2 leads, right, you can increase the conversion rate of that landing page by up to 20%. Now you just cut your lead costs in half. So these are things you want to pay attention to, right? Like how are we optimizing these? Do you split test the different ad copies, right? So Google gives you the option in there to split test, a couple different ad copies, right? So which one performed well, and then let's modify this one, and see which one. You definitely want to continue to optimize your ads like that. So there's things we do in each of our accounts daily, weekly, and monthly, and we have a specific person, a PPC strategist, that all he does is run our clients' Google ads. So that's he's been doing it for years. So we be leveraging all the different ad extensions in that Google allows, that Google has the tools for. That's going to make your ad pop. That's going to make your ad stand out in the search results page. And if they're not going to be leveraging ad extensions, that's going to be a problem, right? You're not going to be showing up as highly. You're not going to get as good as of a click-through rate as you want, which will drive your costs up and you'll be showing up less, right? And what are our targets in terms of like the cost per lead and ROI? So those are some questions to ask. So we split test our campaigns. We have very specific ad groups, and we are going after the terms with high intent, right? We're not going after a lot of the general stuff. There are a lot of problems there, right? It's going to show up other mortgage companies. A lot of your competitors are going to show up. And people could be searching, much farther away in the process, right? Their intent could be very, very, like some people may want to move forward today, but some people may be researching, they're not in a position to buy right now, or they're not in a position to do anything. They're just researching, right? So we don't want to show up. We don't want to show ads for that, right? It's going to waste a lot of spend. We set up conversion tracking, and our landing pages are optimized for conversion, right? And we continue to work on those. And we set up true conversion optimization so that your conversions are tracked and associated with the campaign and keywords in Google Ads, right? So that we can adjust the bid, we can, have a different spend strategy based on the campaigns, the keywords. there's a huge difference between this and simple call tracking, right? You know exactly how many calls came from PPC versus organic, and you can listen to the recordings, right? You will know which keywords within your ads campaign drove the calls and at what cost. And this makes it possible for us to optimize based on the keywords that drive in the best results. For each ad group, we set up multiple text ads, right? And they rotate. And they rotate based on the best converting one, right? Each month. And so our click-through rates, our quality scores improve over time, right? The better our quality scores, right? The better click-through rate we have. That Google, it's proven to good. If our click-through rate is good, people like what they're clicking on, right? And then if that will improve our quality score, which drives costs down. So we provide a reporting dashboard every single month. We review this with our account management team, and it keeps tabs of the most important metrics. And complete transparency in terms of spend to ads. So that is all I've got here. Let me see, just to go through those examples again. Let's see, this was taken right in Google Ads last month. And the number of leads, right? We got 51. Conversion rate 30%, 15 loans closed, right? If they close 30% of these leads, that's 15, right? $3,000, 45,000 in return out of the 2,800 spend. That's a 16x, 16 times ROI, right? A little bit different, right? A higher cost per lead here, but 24, 7 loans closed. That's 21,000, still a 9x, right? 9x. Another example here, 12 leads, 30% conversion, 3 loans closed. It's a 9x out of $1,000 spend, right? And then 13x here with 1,900 spend, 9 loans closed out of the 31 leads, right? If you converted at 30%. So that is all I got for you today. We are always available for you. You want to do an analysis of your ad campaign, your rankings, your website conversion analysis, social media presence, your online reviews and reputation. We would love to talk, right? Give us a call, schedule a one-on-one here. mortgagebrokermarketing.com/schedule. We'd be happy to run a report, show you what some of our clients are doing, what we've done for them and some of their results, and see if what we do makes sense for you. So that's it for today. How to maximize your lead flow with Google Ads in 2022 for mortgage brokers. And we'll see you next time.